My name is Grant Wilson. I own GJW Accounting and Tax Service. This is going to be the fourth video in the series on how to install and use the QuickBooks NACHA file conversion software. In the first three videos, we've learned how to install the software in the correct location, how to use the vendor letter templates, and how to customize your QuickBooks file so my file will be able to tell which vendors get paid with ACH. Now we're going to use the actual files that I created. First, we're going to create a vendor list. So we're going to go to Reports, Vendor Reports, Vendors, and the GJW QB NACHA list. We're going to export that. So we go to Excel. You want to create a new worksheet. I always do a new workbook. You can do existing if you want, but we never want to update. If you've ever exported reports before, you know that there are columns in between. For some reason, that doesn't do that in the sample file, so I will have to do that right now. Okay, I've added all the extra columns. I've also added my email address. We'll need that in the next step. You will be adding the email address in the QuickBooks file as I showed on an earlier video. If you do it this way, you'd have to re-enter the email address every single time. So now we want to go to Windows Explorer. You want to go to your C drive, find the GJW QB NACHA folder, and we want the QB NACHA vendor list. I'm going to open it in a different location real quick. I already opened that file, and I want to open this one just to show you the warnings that are going to pop up. When you download a Microsoft-based file, you should get a warning that just asks if you are sure you want to open it. When they download when Microsoft opens the file for the first time, they only open a portion of it. So we want to enable the editing. And after that, we will get a macro warning. This file does use macros, so you have to enable the macros to use this. If you did not get either of those warnings, you might want to check your security settings. If you don't get those warnings, you download a file off the internet and there's a virus in it. If you open the file, the virus could be activated right away. Real quick, what I have to offer in terms of trust for my file, I have address, phone number on my website, I have an SSL certificate, and my site is also monitored by SiteLock, which prevents malware. So hopefully that will gain your trust. I am going to close this file real quick, and I am going to go back to the C drive to open that one so this works correctly. So again, C drive, GJW QB NACHA folder, and then we want the NACHA vendor list. After you do or enable the warnings and macros, it's going to ask for a password. This is to access your vendor's banking account and routing numbers. The protection on this file is that your employees or the people that access this file will not be able to see that unless you give them the password. Alright, then after that we want to import a new QuickBooks vendor list. We're going to take our list here and copy the whole thing. And we are going to paste it to A3. It might take a second depending on how many vendors you have. Alright, then every header should line up exactly the same. This is what the process you'll follow for every time you either edit a vendor, add a new vendor. If you delete a vendor, you don't have to do that. You can just wait until you add a new vendor again. This file has a utility where it will delete old vendors, but every time you export a new vendor list, you're going to paste it to A3. Another protection is if you had different columns. If you try to paste something to a cell outside of the approved area, it'll give you a warning. When we click done, we're going to go to the home page here. We're going to have a list of all your vendors that are not getting paid as ACH, the ones that get paid that are individuals with ACH, and the corporate. These 4 columns here are the important ones. If any vendors show up in here, you will not be able to create a NACHA file. We have a routing number error, an account number error, account type missing, and missing email. These errors show up because we just imported this information and we haven't entered the banking info yet. To that, we go to enter banking info, type in your password. So we're going to have the vendor list. You enter the routing number once, the routing number again. This will bring up a routing number check. It'll check that the routing number has 9 digits and that the numbers match. You type in the account type, either C or S, and then you type in the account number twice again, and this will be the account number check. Please do not copy and paste. If you mistype on this column and you paste it over this column, you're going to have the same number error. So that's kind of a check that I put in. So I'm just going to add some numbers real quick, and as you can see, this shows up as good and this shows up as good. So I'm just going to populate the rest of these real quick. Alright, when we're done, we have all goods, we have all account types, and we have all goods. Again, this isn't going to make sure that you're entering the correct routing number. It's just going to match it and make sure you entered the routing name number the same time and that it has 9 digits, and same thing with account numbers. So you're going to have to verify that yourself. After you're done with this, hit submit banking info. Now this is a step that could take, oops, it didn't take it, that could take a while. There are a lot of calculations that have to go into this, and matching and error checking, etc. So if you have a giant vendor list, this easily could take a half hour, 45 minutes for the first time that you do it. So plan ahead, just submit the info and then make sure you can go after something else. Occasionally you also might see that it says not responding. That's just a Microsoft thing. The file is actually working through. It just might take a couple minutes. I'm going to pause real quick here.